close your eyes and imagine the life you've always dreamed of. See yourself living it. Feel it? Now be honest. Did a voice in your head just say, "That's impossible"? Did doubt creep in telling you this vision isn't it real? If so, you've just uncovered the one thing stopping you from manifesting your desires. Hi there, my name is Kelly, and today we are diving into the number one mental block that keeps people stuck. Why manifestations don't come true, and most importantly, the simple fix that will change everything. And I mean everything. So, if you've been feeling frustrated, why isn't it work for me? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to remove the block and start manifesting effortlessly. First, let's start and getting this block out of the way, this hidden block. Guess what it is? Your subconscious resistance. We don't even realize this. Let me ask you a question. True or false? Do you manifest what you want? True? Well, actually, there is a subtle difference there. Here's something most people don't realize. You don't manifest what you want. You actually manifest what you believe is possible for you. And I know it's very tricky, but that goes back to that idea that we attract what we are, not what we want. Have you heard about that? Yeah, because we are always vibrating and attracting things. So if you're vibrating at a lower frequency, eventually you attract the negative things. While on the other hand, when you are vibrating at the highest frequency, you attract positive things or eventually abundance. So here the trick is that your subconscious mind is always at work, either attracting or blocking your manifestation. And this is something that, as I said, we don't even realize this. And guess what? If deep down you're holding limiting beliefs such as, "I'm not worthy of success," manifestation works for others, not for me, or "good things never last." Who said this before? But deep down, if you hold these beliefs, then your subconscious mind is actively rejecting your goals, your desires, your aspirations, even if you're visualizing, scripting, and affirming on a daily basis. So then you may ask, Kelly, how do we fix this? This is where the power of rewriting your subconscious through neuroplasticity, belief shifting, and emotional alignment comes into play. And here, the beautiful thing, we are aligning science with the metaphysical, science with the spiritual. So let's break this down. First, let's talk a little bit about the science behind why your mind blocks your manifestations. And there are three main reasons why we struggle to manifest what you want. Number one, your brain's hardwiring. In other words, your brain neuroplasticity. You remember when we talk about neuroplasticity? No? Okay. Let me just remind you, neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to adapt or to be flexible to new opportunities, new learning experiences. So your brain is designed to protect you. But if you've been conditioned to believe that success, wealth, love, abundance is hard to get, your brain literally wires itself to reject new possibilities. In other words, you basically rewire your brain in a pattern of limiting beliefs, and this will block new things to come into your life. But the good news, your brain is changeable, is malleable. So by repeatedly exposing it to new empowering beliefs, you can rewrite it or rewrite the brain to accept and attract what you desire, what you wish to accomplish, whatever you dreamt of. And that leads us to the second reason that also aligns with the first one. Your reticular activating system, your RAS, is filtering out your desires. Do you remember the RAS? The RAS is like your brain's gatekeeper. It essentially decides what you notice in your environment, whether positive or negative. So, for example, if your subconscious believes money is hard to earn, your RAS will eventually filter out opportunities for financial abundance, even if they're right in front of you. And this is something that happens with people a lot. I know for a fact this happened to me not too long ago, but before I rewire my mindset and before my spiritual awakening as well. But how many times have you had the opportunity to, I don't know, maybe meet someone if you're looking for love, or go to a job interview, or explore a new place and something unexpected happened out of your control, or you said, oh no, I'm not feeling it, this is not for me, I don't think this is gonna work, all those types of conversation. It is as almost you are self-sabotaging yourself. You know what I mean? But when you train your RAS to focus on abundance, it will start to recognize and attracting situations, people, and ideas that align with your desires, with your goals, and with your aspirations. And this leads us to our third reason you are not manifesting, well, scientific reason. That is, your emotional vibrations are not matching your desires. And this is where the law of attraction comes in, because we are always vibrating energy, positive and negative. Well, preferably we want to vibrate positive emotions so we attract positive things. But the law of attraction isn't just about thinking positive. It's actually about feeling in alignment with your desires, with your goals, with your dreams. And as we are always vibrating things, always vibrating energy, it's very important that we vibrate at a high frequency. So if you feel fear, doubt, or frustration, for example, when thinking about your dreams, you are unknowingly pushing them away, because you put a blockage, and then the universe cannot deliver the tools and the synchronicities to you. And that's why raising your emotional frequency or your vibrational frequency is extremely important to your manifestations. There is no other way around here. So, in practical terms, how do we break free from these subconscious blocks and start manifesting with ease? This is where you're going to reprogram your mind for manifestation. And the first step here is identify and flip the limiting belief. And I know that this is not easy. I've been there before. But if we're committed to do it, we get that. And I have a whole video where I talk only about limiting beliefs, and I go in even more details about it. And you can find it right here. But the first step here is awareness. If you have a notebook, pen, pencil, whatever you have there with you, grab it and write this down. Ready? What do I truly want? Next question. What negative thoughts or doubts immediately come up? Again, what negative thoughts and doubts immediately come up? Now, let's work on flipping those limiting beliefs into empowering statements. For example, instead of saying, I never have enough money, you say, money flows to me effortlessly in expected and unexpected ways. Again, money flows to me effortlessly in expected and unexpected ways. Another example, instead of saying, love always disappoints me, then you say, I'm deeply loved and I attract meaningful connections effortlessly. Again, I'm deeply loved and I attract meaningful connections effortlessly. And now the step number 2 in this rewiring process is train your brain with repetition. And this is where the neuroplasticity hack comes in. So your mind learns from repetition and emotional intensity. That's why affirmations, autosuggestions, and visualization work. But there is a caveat. Only if you do them consistently. So here what I'm going to tell you. Try this 5 minutes daily practice. And this is very simple. 5 minutes, that's the only thing you need. So visualize your desire as if happening to you right here, right now. Now engage with all 5 senses. What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you smell? What do you see in your mind's eyes? Now feel the emotions associated with those feelings of already having it. So for instance, excitement, joy, love, gratitude, whatever positive emotions you're feeling during this very short exercise, just nurture it. Now affirm out loud, I'm living my dream life and everything is unfolding perfectly for me. I'm living my dream life and everything is unfolding perfectly for me. Now, do this every day, and your brain will start accepting this reality, or you'll start believing in that, really believing in that. And then we come to our step number 3. I know that they are all connected, but I wanted to break into different steps because it's just easier to practice this on a daily basis. So step number 3 is a shift in your emotional state. This is the law of attraction hack. Back to the idea that manifestation is not about forced action, it's about inspired action. So here is a powerful hack that you can do in 90 seconds. That's right, 90 seconds. A 90-second emotion reset. Let's do this together. And here for this hack, whether doubt or fear creeps in, you can do that. Anywhere, anytime. 90 seconds. So first, you pause and take a deep breath. Now set a timer for 90 seconds. I'm going to get my phone here so we can do this together. And here, Before you set yours, just get ready, you can pause the video. But for the next 90 seconds or the full 90 seconds, focus on gratitude. Think about one thing you deeply appreciate or one thing that you are truly grateful for. Now let's set the timer, 90 seconds on the clock, starting now. You can close your eyes. I think it's much easier because then you can focus and feel the emotions. Okay, 90 seconds is gone. But by the time the timer stops, you'll notice that your vibration will be back in alignment. And you can do this, as I said, in any situation, especially in stressful situations. And by the way, I would love to hear, how are you feeling right now? How did this experience make you feel? So let me know in the comments below. But the key, don't let negative emotions linger. We know that life is not all sunshine and rainbows. We cannot be happy the entire time. Eventually, we're gonna have our ups and downs, and you have all the right to honor your emotions. Now, just to make a career of your negative emotions and feelings. So that is the point here. Don't let negative emotions linger, because the longer they stay, the more you block your manifestations, and I'm sure you don't want that. And then we go to our final point that is very important to mindset shift, that is let go and trust the process. Trust the process, trust in the universe, trust in divine time. Because here's a secret that most people miss. The universe works best when you release control. Because after all, we know we cannot control outside things, outside forces. We can only control what we are carrying here, our own feelings and emotions. Oh, by the way, sorry, touch the microphone. But once you've aligned your mindset, emotions, and beliefs, you must let go and trust the universe, trust in divine timing. And this is another thing that I had to do this myself, and once I did, it set me free. But it doesn't mean that you should be doing nothing. What I mean is that you should be following inspired action and allow things to unfold naturally. In other words, don't try to control or put resistance, because a lot of times what blocks manifestation is desperation, resistance. Because essentially when you are obsessed with when and how things are gonna happen, you are actually sending out signals to the universe of lack instead of abundance. And again, this is dangerous. You don't want that. So here is what I want you to do. Very simple, easy. First, set an intention for that thing you want. Do the inner work, in other words, the reprogramming, the emotional alignment. And then trust that what you desire is already making its way to you. Because guess what? It actually is. I know that it takes practice, but the more you practice, the more you see the results. So my friend, now you have the exact steps to remove the number one block in stopping your manifestations. You just have to apply them. And if you found this helpful, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. So let me know, what belief are you shifting today? Well, actually belief or beliefs. And how did you feel after that exercise we just did a few minutes ago? And if you want more practical manifestation techniques, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. And remember, your manifestations are already on their way to you. So trust align, and receive. This is what I have for you today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.